Okay, I'm different. But these strategy guides used to be beautiful. They used to give you tips. They used to show you layouts of the land. They used to explain more about the world. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this guy buys this Super Mario 64 guy from Japan. He's over here, he's chilling. I don't know if he's in the States, wherever he's at. He's relaxing. He says, yo, I got to share this with the world because I realize if I do not archive this beautiful piece of gaming, we will lose it. And we have been losing a lot of gaming. Shout out to Ukraine. There is a computer lab, I think, it held like a lot of different things that were archived for years that was destroyed. They say to Russian bombing. So shout out to them. You know what I mean? Like that is something that I take because I love things that are archived. I do think we need to archive everything because for educational purposes, we need to teach our youngins. This is what we played. This is how these games were made. This is what they were made on. I mean, they help. Okay, they really help. And Super Mario 64, by the way, is still played by the youngins. So let's just get that out of the way. So this guy says, hey, I want to scan this and put it on archive.org because I want everyone else to be able to enjoy this beautiful piece of history. Shout out to him. That's until Nintendo came on that ass. Nintendo seen this put up, and yes, they sent the cease and desist and said, take that hit down.
Can you dig it?
This is no joke. I'm not joking. Nintendo has taken down a lot of things. They've taken down my videos. I mean, other videos. I think not Mod Trips. What is his name? Damn it, I keep forgetting his name. But you know who I'm talking about. The guy who has the face covering and everything. He got taken off YouTube because of Nintendo. Okay? Nintendo has taken out many people, by the way. Many channels have been taken because of Nintendo. Even channels who are not doing homebrew activity. Channels who might be covering just music. There are music channels that have been taken down by Nintendo. Nintendo seen this guide from 96 that was made in Japan and said, oh my God, they are posting artwork. We must take it down. Yeah! And Nintendo destroyed the shit and sent a cease and desist. This is crazy. Now, for this one, I am going to pull up the article. Let's go ahead and take a look into this article because the fact that this strategy guide was in 96 and in Japan and nobody's making money from it, and it's not like they put it up there and had a donation link or ads running or all types of stuff. It was put out for the world to enjoy and was posted on multiple gaming publications. Everybody talked about it. We rejoiced in happiness of these beautiful scans only for Nintendo to ruin our shit show for better or worse, right? Let's go ahead and pull up on screen. Good morning and welcome to what feels like the 1097th episode of Nintendo Get Some Cool Shit. Take it down off the internet. Shout out to my man Luke. For those who don't know, Luke Plunkett, okay, has been around. Luke, I need that interview. Luke, I need that interview, okay, because we don't agree on everything either, Luke. So I need to talk to you about some things. But nonetheless, Luke, beautiful article, man. Beautiful. We talk, beautiful. So last week, we shared some images of Super Mario 64 Complete Clear Guidebook. Now, I want to pull this up in another tab so people can see exactly what this post was. This is Luke's post, okay? Luke posted this, and Luke was talking about the guide, okay? Showed some different images, which, by the way, I don't know if people remember this stage, but this breakdown is beautiful for every retro gamer. I know you young gamers who might not have played Mario 64, might not understand, but we remember the layout visually in our minds. To see it physically is beautiful. It is beautiful to just see it laid out. I remember going to these certain sections of the stage where, oh, you got to go here to fight this boss, or the big bombs here, or the 3 bombs here. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So, and by the way, they say the same thing. I cannot stress how amazing the dioramas are and what a genius idea they were for representing a 3D space, still a novelty back then, on a 2D page. He's right, on the 2D page. This is beautiful, and everybody remembers the layout. So now we come to the real shit. So now that was notable for the fact that instead of just telling players where to go, a series of incredible real-world dioramas were commissioned to serve as 3D maps. It was cool and we all enjoyed it. But this book was released in 96 in Japan. Not even the States. You know what I'm saying? I can see if it's in the West. If it gets sold in the West, because y'all know how we get over here in the West. Shout out to all my folks in Japan, too. I actually had a couple individuals from Japan comment on videos on the YouTube. So shout out Japan. Yo, I love the reach of MoFam. I love it. Okay. But it says here, it was never released in the West, has never been released anywhere since, and has not been commercially available for decades. So there's no way you're purchasing. There's no money you're spending. There's no way they're making money from this, is what they're saying. All right? The only way you can purchase a copy is if you have cash, is to spend hundreds on one via resale on eBay or Yahoo, from which Nintendo wouldn't see any proceeds. Oh, and also these skins weren't making anyone a damn cent. They're not making money for anybody. Nintendo, what's wrong with you? It would have been the easiest thing for Nintendo to leave this be and to let Mario fans enjoy this thing they never had a chance to enjoy before. Having high-quality skins uploaded to a public domain wasn't just for recreation either. It was preserving the book's contents and making them publicly accessible long after the opportunity to purchase the book. Oh, that's so beautiful. Makes me want to shed a tear to my eye. Let me tell you something about Nintendo. They don't give a shit about your book. They don't care about your book. Don't scan Mario. Let me just go ahead. Hold on. Let me put my headset on. Make sure everybody's listening. Okay. Let me pull this up straight. There we go. Okay. Everybody listening? You listening good? Okay. We on? I got the chat here. Okay. I see everybody's in chat. We're good. Okay. Ah, there we go. I see a chat. Okay. We good. Okay. Making sure we listen. And you may not remember, you're the one who referred. Damn, I did refer. Wow. That's crazy. Goes back. Micro Gaming Repairs. I gave you that. You need to, you know what I mean? Holler back at me or something. But anyways, I want to say this. For all those that want to put up anything Mario related, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Do not put up anything Mario related anymore. First party stuff off limits. Nintendo are just plain, yes, Nintendo, you are listening. I'm going to say it. You guys are jackasses. You always want to come after people, especially even when it bites you in the ass, because you have fans appreciating your work, which means it helps promote your product. But guess what? People think, oh, Nintendo's still on top. It doesn't matter. They're doing a great job. No, it's possible to be a big-ass douchebag and to still shoot yourself in the foot. Yes, it is possible to be both. And Nintendo has been both for a long time. So, Nintendo, listen up and listen close. You can go ahead and take down all that shit because I'm going to tell everybody, just do anything Nintendo, just stay on first party. Okay, we'll leave Kirby alone. We'll leave Mario alone. We leave Samus alone. We'll touch rando ass characters. Bald Bull. You know what? Go grab Mike Tyson Punch Out and play with Bald Bull. Okay, go have some fun. You know what? Play some other games and just get the weird ass characters. Okay, Kid Icarus. Is anybody talking? Is it Kid Icarus? How do you pronounce it? The little Cupid guy. Is anybody playing with him anymore? Let's take him. Okay, they don't seem to give a shit about him. But when it comes to Mario and you put up this, by the way, this god is beautiful. I don't know if you guys realize, but this god is beautiful. The moment you put it up, you faced fire from Nintendo. And I'm glad that you took it down. First, this cease and desist was sent to archive.org, by the way. Archive.org then sent it to your ass. Okay, which, by the way, this is Comfort Food Games. Or Comfort Food Video Games, excuse me. So I want to go ahead and read, and this is before we move on. I want to read from Comfort Food Video Games, their actual statement, because I think it's only right. I'm talking about them. It's only right I read their direct statement. Sadly, archive.org sent me their usual takedown notice. Okay, so usual, he's used to getting this shit. All right, used to getting it. Telling me Nintendo of America challenged the copyright of the scan and it was removed. Frankly, I love the challenge, the legitimacy of that, and how Nintendo of America would have anything to do with a Nintendo of Japan licensed gem book guide from 1995, but I can't really fight Nintendo legal team here. It's incredibly disappointing. One thing I want to say is I'm sorry, you should have challenged that shit. If they want to go to court, I understand you have to go to court. Don't pay for any legal team. You be your own representation. If you lose, you lose. You know what I mean? You might have to pay some court costs, but if you win, it could be at your own benefit. Now, me, myself, I take risk. I take a lot of risk. This is one I would have taken because the fact Nintendo of America, I don't know what licensing rights Nintendo of America has. I don't know if they purchase rights for Nintendo of Japan. Don't know how that goes. But the fact that Nintendo of America was the ones that issued the takedown statement, and this is from Nintendo of Japan, you got some fighting grounds. You got some fighting grounds here. While I fully understand protecting one's IP and copyrights, I didn't think I was hurting anyone by scanning and uploading a 27-year-old guide. Damn, 27 years. Hurting people selling this guide for literal. I think it helps Nintendo while only hurting the people selling this guide for literal hundreds of dollars. So there are people who are still selling this guide. They're selling it for hundreds of dollars, by the way. So if you want this guide, you're going to be paying $200, $300, $400, $500 just to have this guide. No longer can you see it on archive.org. It has been taken down. Okay. I'm a rookie to the video game preservation scene, but I can't think of anything more depressing than how it's a bunch of hardworking people spending their free time and money painstakingly archiving and preserving history, while major corporations like Nintendo are doing nothing to help. In fact, they're actively hindering the cause. Damn, that was well said. Well said. I mean, I couldn't say it better myself. So I'm just going to say this. They don't want to participate. They actually hope you do not archive. Their goal is to be able to archive for you. They want to archive their own IPs. So therefore, we realize how big the retro gaming scene is. We want to offer our own titles. We don't want anyone else offering our titles. I respect that. I understand that. But if you're not offering an alternative, Nintendo, and someone else has the game there, I'm sorry, you need to sit your ass several seats and let the gaming community live. Shout out to gaming community. Now, that's it. We're going to move on. Like I said, I got a lot to talk about. Now, let's put up Joe West. Nintendo was trying to steal everyone's money and their grandma's money too. Say it well, Joe. Nintendo doesn't care. They want the dollar. Okay, they want the dollar. I will say, as much as I talk shit about Nintendo, their first-party games are fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like Mario games, I can't tell you. I was out there playing Mario Party not that long ago with my daughter. Like Mario games, it's just great. You know what I mean? There's just so many good games for Nintendo. Much as I hate them, they just have so many good games. Now, let's go ahead and move on. We got to move on. All right, this next one is... Yo, I don't know what I was thinking. Y'all. I don't know what I was thinking. Now, I'm also going to put this in the chat because I always invite guests. Okay, you can come on at any point if you want. You can just join the restream. You can follow that link. Okay, you can follow that link. You can be a part of Nickmoses05 MoFam. By the way, guys, we've grown tremendously. We've grown over hundreds of subscribers in a matter of weeks. As you've seen, the Facebook group growing, podcast downloads growing. I don't even really post on Twitter or Twitch, but they both have been growing. So shout out to all those out there. I see you right there. That's why I had to shout out Twitch. I seen you right there. I appreciate that. Kudos to you. Twitch has even been growing as well. There's other streaming platforms that I'm on as well that have been growing. So just got to shout out all you guys to make that possible. Appreciate that, MoFam. Now, with that out the way, I like to ask you. This came up recently. And the reason this has something to do with gaming, I know. I only talk about gaming. And yes, this has to do with gaming. So recently, I seen a post where there was a capsule in Japan that was offered that had Dante's Inferno plastered all over the capsule. I seen the capsule. Speaking of, I'm going to find this image right now to show you the exact capsule and how it looks, because I would like to know, would you sleep in this capsule? Dante's Inferno plastered all over it, okay? So here we go. Beautiful image. Let's pull this up on screen here. Beautiful, beautiful image. Okay? So there's the image here, right? Now, this image shows one of these capsules. These capsules, not too big, as you can see, just like a bed. You just probably crawl in there, close the door, and you're in there. You're in like a little capsule. Think of a pill bottle. You know what I mean? You're sitting in there. You got AC, you got heat and everything. It goes through there, okay? But all you got is a TV. You got some sockets. You see a phone there, it looks like. But that's it. That's all you got. You might got a calendar, a date. That's it. You come there and you sleep. You get your ass up and roll. Okay? I looked at this screen. And you know what I thought? Yo, it would be cool to sleep in one of these capsules if every one of those screens were just like TVs. And I could see Dante's Infernos, different like combos and all types of things. And I said, yo, that would be dope to sleep in one of those capsules. I might like that. Then I got to thinking about the size. I looked in there. Then I got to thinking about, different things. So before I go into it, let's read the article, and I'm going to ask you guys personally on the stream today. Capsule rooms might be small, but Devil May Cry fandom is huge. And next month, Anshin Oyaro premiere, Nagoya, Sake, and Nagoya will cover one of its capsules with silver-haired heroes of DMC. I butchered that shit.
Can you dig it?
I know I butchered it. As part of DMC's 20th anniversary, a capsule hotel room has been covered wall to wall with Devil May Cry posters and art. No matter if you're sleeping on the left, right, back, no matter what, you're going to be looking at hunky dudes from Capcom's stylish Demon Hunter series. Now I've seen that, right? Now pull me back up on big screen. So I see that. And I go, yo, capsules? Could I sleep in a capsule? So I like to ask everybody in the chat, everybody tuning in, hit the like, thumbs up, share it out, share out the content right now, share it out. Okay, to go case 06 on Twitch, share out the content. Okay, but I like to ask all you guys, would you sleep in a capsule? Would you sleep in a capsule? And if the capsule was covered with game paraphernalia all over, you got Nintendo Switch, whatever you like, Xbox, PlayStation, you can have it covered. I'm going to tell you guys, Nickmoses05, the real. I just told you I went to Pennsylvania. I visited MoFam's other brother, my man G.I. Joe, hardest working man in show business. As I went to Pennsylvania, one of the things I talked with my family about, I said, yo, baby, we got to talk. I'm trying to figure out, which room we should get, right? Booking hotel rooms in America, okay? I can't speak everywhere else, but booking hotels and rooms in America, you got a lot of different things to accommodate, okay? You got room, the views, maybe you want to be close by some attraction that you're going to, a lot of different things. The biggest thing for me is room. It's the biggest thing. I will literally go on websites and look for square footage. Okay, I would see square footage. Oh, square footage, 465. Hey, we talking. Okay, 500, we talking. Then I'll go to some other room. It says square footage, 300 square feet. And I'm looking like, ugh, I'm frowning up my nose. I'm getting bougie and shit. That ain't even me, but I'm getting bougie. So I look at these capsules and I go, ain't no way in hell I'm staying in a capsule. But then I got to thinking, right? Stay in a capsule, you're in a man cave. You got it locked. Can't nobody come in. You know what I mean? You got your sounds and music. It's literally you and nothing else. That's beautiful. I think we get trapped into the fact of all the amenities, especially here in America. I am a person that is victim of that. I fall victim to many amenities. For instance, I don't want to do an Airbnb. I want to do a hotel because I like people to clean up after my shit. Okay? I don't want to clean up my shit. You clean it. That's the point of me paying for a hotel, right? But if you go to an Airbnb, you have to clean. They'll charge your ass a hefty cleaning fee. Okay? So you got to pick up your own mess. Also, these capsules, guess what? Some of them might not have lodging areas. So when your ass get out the capsule, holla, you better hit the road. You better put your clothes on, go to your locker, and keep rolling. We don't have any place for you to be standing around here. And what's even worse, some of them, you got to get out and check out to check back in. Even if you're staying multiple days, guess what? It's going to be a hefty fee in between if you paid that. So the price for some of these, you wonder. Let me tell you guys. So for me, right? I stayed at a beautiful hotel. Now for me, I'm looking, hey, I just don't want to pay over $200 a night. People look at me like, yo, you're bugging, Nick. 200, so I'm 180 a night's good for me. You know what I'm saying? 150 a night's good for me. I'm like, yo, this is love. I like this. We got the suite. Okay. I'm in here. Yeah. But to other people, they're like, Nick, are you crazy? When there are hotels offering beautiful rooms for $100, $50. Well, these capsules go for the same price. These capsules going for $30, $50. You can sleep in, now, I'm not going to lie, $30, you sleep in a capsule and I heard it's very clean, by the way. Very clean. You can pay $30 and you can sleep in a capsule. So I like to ask anybody, would you sleep, okay, in a capsule? Let's put up my man, Joe. Now, Magnus, hold up. Magnus, I see you here, Magnus. Let's go ahead, Magnus. Magnus, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine, Magnus. Magnus, first of all, thank you for tuning in to the Nickmoses05 Gaming Podcast. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Oh, that's good. Now, Magnus, you were touching base on something before with the mod chips. I don't know if you want to go into that, Magnus. So, Magnus, are you calling specifically on the capsule, or do you want to talk about something else?
We'll talk about the other thing you just mentioned.
Talk to me, Magnus. What you got to say?
Look, I was not trying to blast the dude when I made that post. I did not have his name. I did have the picture of his 2 switches that I fixed.
So,
did not mean no harm to the dude. The dude calls me pretty much every day. He still tries to call me. He's asking for advice. I still give it to him. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's horrible. It's just he's got a lot to learn for his certain things.
Magnus.
We're all still learning.
Talk Magnus without laughing. So give me a second, Magnus. Give me a second. I'm trying to hold it in. Okay. Magnus, you're right. Right. Now, I want to tell you, I want to say thank you, because the fact that you still speak to the person and that you're still reaching out and giving good advice, that shows you're a good dude. You're a good dude. Okay. Now, let me ask you, this person told me that they are not getting their just due, and it is unfair what is happening to them. Magnus, from your side, is this unfair, or has it been one time too many?
Well, I've heard past things that he's done.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's true, because I wasn't really doing any type of installing and stuff back then.
Okay.
But from what I have heard and things that has happened, it's kind of shady. So I can't really say all. I mean, I like I said, I don't really know, because I wasn't around it.
Exactly.
But what I see now, if you can't read a diagram, you have to watch a video. Even I circle and point out what to do, and you say, but that's not what the video shows. And then you do it wrong. And I should have listened to you. It's hard to justify.
Magnus. All right, Magnus. So let me tell you this, man. I'm going to say this. You're right. I am one that when I did Xbox 360 mods, I remember reading the NAN and I remember looking at diagrams and, they were color coded, but there were like 2 or 3 different guides out there with different color codes. And if you didn't pay attention, like, the ground or the 3.3 volt might be a different color. So you might solder it to the wrong place. So I agree with you. Reading those diagrams are like the most important thing. So if you can't read it, that would be a problem.
I gave him my work, and I gave him the diagram, showing him point to point, zoomed in points of where it goes, and he'll send me pictures back of the completely opposite point of the other side of the mod chip. It's crazy.
I'm sorry, Magnus. I'm sorry. I'm trying, Magnus. I'm trying. Now, this person, the reason I'm laughing so hard is because this person, as you and I both know, this person can have a temper. Okay? This person can sometimes get out of character. And this person also has things going on in their outside life. So, Magnus, thank you for helping them. Now, let me ask you this, Magnus. Does this person, in your mind, if you had to say, hey, I'm hiring, different people to handle my business, does this person deserve to be doing what they're doing in that group? Or should that be someone who needs to go back to the drawing board?
If I was hiring, no.
If you were hiring.
If I was hiring, no. Unless I could afford to have somebody hover over him for the first 20 install or something, then yeah. But I mean, he can solder. I mean, he can do it good. He's got shiny balls, and But there are times when, like, the little ground screw hole, get one touch of solder on that, and then try to take it off and just make a completely Hiroshima mess. It's
So, Magnus, this person that we're referring to, what do you see for them in the future? Do you see them coming back to this group? Do you see them trying? What do you see in the future for this person?
I mean, everybody deserves a second chance, but you got to prove yourself.
I like that. That was well said, Magnus. You got to prove yourself. And I'm going to tell you, and I think you and I both know, Magnus, this person feels like they already proved themselves. Okay, this person feels like, hey, I'm not getting my just due. Now, Magnus, you are someone that you have a lot of patience. Okay, because a lot of people don't have patience like you. I'm gonna be honest. If I send you something and I point to it, you mess it up, I might not message you back. Okay, I might leave it. So, Magnus, I agree in that. So, has this person told you about any of the things they're going through in their life?
Yeah.
Okay. From what I heard, this person has shared those things with multiple individuals and even make that public. Is that okay to say? Is that true as far as you know?
I mean, if you're going through a tough time, let their customers know for sure.
I agree. And Magnus, I want to say this. This is one thing, since I have you on the line, this is one thing that was specifically mentioned to me. This person said that they were working on systems and they felt forced to work on a system during a time where they were diagnosed with COVID. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Now,
I worked on 2, and I had COVID, and I didn't know I had COVID. But that's a different topic.
Now, Magnus, I'm a little different. If I say I got COVID, I'm telling you, look, I can't work on your system. I got COVID. I can't tell you. First of all, I don't even want to touch your system if I got COVID. Let's be honest. Okay. I don't need to be over your whole entire motherboard with COVID. So that's a whole nother story. But This person actually had some incident happen because of that. Now, Magnus, if you have COVID, I'm gonna try to reverse it. So if you have COVID, Magnus, and as you someone, let's just say, hey, I'm an installer, right? I got COVID. What do you tell your customers, or what do you do if you have a system that needs to be done at that time? What do you do?
Well, the two systems that I had, the one I actually did, the other one, I messaged the guy and was like, look, I got this one done. This is for somebody else. Yours is here. I have sticky note with his name on it and everything like that. I told him, I'm feeling under the weather. I was diagnosed with COVID earlier that day. I just don't feel up to it, and I want to give you 100% my full attention to this board. So I'm gonna have to push it back a day. I message back. Okay, cool, man. I understand. I don't want you to rush and try to get it done and possibly mess up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Magnus. Very simple, very easy. Something I've done as well. I've had systems and I've told people, hey, unfortunately, sometimes I'm just busy. I just haven't had time to get to it. I apologize. If you do want the system back, you can have it back, but just give me about a day or two. I'll be able to get to it. And usually people are very fine. I haven't had any people really bark back or say, oh, you need to do it at this time. Usually people want you to do it right. And that's really the biggest concern. So, Magnus, how many of these systems have you single-handedly fixed?
Have I fixed for that individual or for others or what?
Let's just go with that individual.
Just two.
Now, were those two specifically OLED models?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you read the post, you saw the pictures. They had pink screen from the CMD resistor. I'm sorry, CLK resistor was knocked off or desoldered off somehow.
That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but if you, as our friend said, Annie, if you can't solder that resistor back onto the board, you shouldn't attempt. Practice until you can solder one of those back on. That way, if you do mess up, you can fix it.
And you know what? That doesn't seem like it's hard to understand. I'm gonna be honest, because I have not broken any of those resistors specifically that you're talking about. But you're right. If I break something, the least I can do is learn how to fix it. So next time, if it happens again, I can do it. So this person, you're still speaking with them. Have they gave you any fight back towards, like, hey, it's wrong what happened, and I want you to stick up for me? Like, what happened after that post? That is what I want to know.
He has not asked you to stick up for him.
Okay.
He did ask me why I threw him on the bus, and I was like, look, dude, I didn't throw you under the bus. I said names. I cropped the picture so it didn't show any of your stuff, really, just the two screens. Took name out of the whole thing. And the admin asked me. I had to reply back.
I'm with you on that. Now, Magnus, let me ask. So I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate, Magnus, because I love you. You're dropping bombs for me right now. So, Magnus, if I'm on the other side, I say, yo, I had a private conversation with Magnus. I can't believe Magnus would go online and do that. Do you think your message was more to alert those, or was it more to put the individual out there?
It was a general statement for everybody to see so that they understand that installers aren't always what they say they are. Because, I mean, I could send you all kinds of pictures and stuff that we've talked about of his mess ups and the fact that he used somebody else's work to say he was best of the best. And 2 weeks later, we find out who that individual really is. That's pretty bad.
Hey, Magnus, since we on there, I'm gonna dig a bit deeper. It's not just messages, like you said, that post from you, also other admins have had conversations with this individual. Okay. And it seems like a common theme that everyone is wanting to hear. It's just my fault. Is that all everyone's wanting to hear?
I don't know. I don't.
Because what it seems like to me.
I mean, like I said, I put the post up there. Like I said, I wasn't doing it to point him out. I didn't have his name. I didn't have anything there. I was just a general warning to that group. He was already out of that group from what I can remember.
He was out of that group already, and I believe at the time he was in another group, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
He was the admin of it.
Yeah, so even if I would have said his name, which I didn't, it was to a group that he wasn't in.
That's true.
But like I said, I didn't say his name. I was trying to point him out.
No, that's nice. Now, Magnus, first of all, thank you for calling and explaining that, because a lot of people think that this individual is trouble. I'm gonna be honest, Magnus. There's only about 2 individuals I know who stick up for this person. Everybody else, in every message I get, I've heard this person is an asshole. I heard this person is a liar. I heard this person breaks systems. I've heard everything. But it seems when I've dealt with the individual, it has been fine. So, Magnus, from you being on the inside, what are some of the things you look for? And this is for everyone else who might be listening, to make sure that someone actually does the good work they say they do.
Well, I had one of his customers before talk to me about him before I even talked to that individual. And they told me things that happened between them two. I'm not going to go details.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, then that guy says, I'm so glad I found you and don't have to deal with him because of the past experiences. And they talk about how good my work was and everything like that. So when I did join the Facebook group, he started messaging me, asking me questions. I got to know him a little bit. And I did bring that certain topic up.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's not what happened. This is what really happened. So I got both sides of the stories. Mm-hmm. Every story is different. Yeah. So, you got to take them both together and figure out what may or may not be true and take it all for a grain of salt anyways. So.
No, but I agree. I totally agree. And I've actually had similar issues. I've had people write me. Same thing. They were just saying, hey, I've been dealing with this individual and, he told me this or he said this and it's kind of weary. I want to run it by you. And also a lot of other people have told me that personal things seem to come up with this individual a lot of times. So I'm with you. I don't want to call out anybody's personal business because it's personal business. It's personal business. I want the best for him. But Magnus, your name, okay, because you were the one who did the post. Your name was brought into this. How do you feel about your name being brought into this? Do you feel like because you made the post, it's kind of well-deserved? Or do you feel like that, hey, this whole drama thing is blown out of proportion and just kick the one dude to the curb and let's keep the show going?
I feel bad for dude. I wasn't really calling him out. I was just sending a general warning. If he keeps doing installs, that's on him. If somebody asks my true opinion, I'll give them my true opinion. I personally don't do installs for people that I don't know. So if somebody came to ask me to do an install, more than likely I'm going to turn them down. Because I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for, making people's work look good and stuff like that. I just do it with people that I know. So
nice.
There are a need for installers. So if he's willing to take that risk, but will take and own his work and send the customer a working unit. Now, if, for example, I've got this one unit I got back. Guy says when he hit the power button, it had an infinite glitch of a pink light. He sent it back to me. I booted it up just fine. Took it apart, did some testing, add a little bit of solder on stuff just to you know, try to make it better. And worked fine. A couple days. Sent back to him.
Okay.
He gets it. It's working just fine. A couple hours later, he's messaging me. He says, "Hey, yo, it's doing it again."
Okay.
So I said, "Send it back to me. We'll send you another one."
Okay.
Send him a completely different switch. Got this one back.
Okay.
Turned it on. Pink light again. Retrained it. Just fine. Left alone. Checked the next morning. Pink infinite glitch again. Like, whoa, what's up? There's something's not right. Because I retrained it. It worked again. So don't think there's anything wrong with the soldering. Something wrong with that chip. Or something else could be going on.
Yeah, true.
So right now I have a half working unit for myself.
Okay. Now with the OLED units, is it like the difficulty from 1 to 10? Can you explain it to, would you say it's a 10 on the difficulty scale from 1 to 10 as far as soldering on systems? What would you rate an OLED install?
I'm a weird guy. So my rating scale is completely different than other people's.
Okay.
If I would give a honest opinion, if you don't have the right tools, because I know a couple of installers that are good installers messed up systems back to back, asked me politely if I would do one for them. Did it for them, gave them all the tips I did. They've had no problems yet. They've done over 13 successful, no problems. So I would say difficulty would probably be about a 6 or 7.
Okay. All right. No, that's pretty good. And how do you feel about that? You get someone who's, hey, let's say they're out there, they got customers lined up, and then next thing you know, they want their system done and they come to you. How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm just a guy.
Magnus.
It does tick me a little bit, but at the end of the day, next week it's going to be forgotten. No,
that's true. And Magnus, before I let you go, just let you know, I'm drinking wine today. Okay, next week I got you. I'm gonna bring out the strong stuff. Okay, I might bust out the 1800 or something. I might knock my ass out on the floor. I see you. With the wine, I feel you. I drank the whole bottle though. We done. So Magnus, my dude, I thank you for calling and explaining that piece. It was well needed because this guy is going to listen, and he's now gonna know that I know because I only get one side. I get that side, and then I did hear some other things about him, but I didn't get it from the horse's mouth. So thank you, Magnus, for that. Magnus, any last words you got to say before we move on?
Nah, bro, that's it.
Man, you my dog, Magnus. Thank you for explaining. And by the way, keep talking to him, man. Put some, that man needs motivation. You and I both know, okay, he needs a helping hand, okay? And God will reward you in some weird way, okay? So just think about that.
All right.
Holla, man. My man Magnus, hold on. Is that Dead Specimen?
Yes, it is. I just need to call Magnus out real quick for some news story.
Are you on that the Ukraine and Russian signal? You want to get on the next one?
Could you perhaps hear me a bit better
I'm
now?
wasted, man. I've been drinking this wine. There you go. I can hear you better, my dude. Oh, man. So you were saying?
I just need to report some fake news that Magnus shared. He's not in fact a man. He claimed he is. He's actually an alien from Mars. So just report that.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The way Magnus knows his stuff, man, I might have to roll with you on the alien thing. You know, some people are wired differently, and I have to say, you're not all the way human. You're not all the way human. So I'm not saying you're not human. You're just not all the way.
Like 12%.
Yeah, 12% human. The rest we don't. Extraterrestrial. We'll just leave it there. That means it's something.
He's a hammer bro, given his profile picture. Or I don't know. It's some sort of Mario turtle.
So, Dead Specimen, you are one. A lot of people don't know. First of all, Dead Specimen, I want to ask you before I move on to this Nintendo Switch drama. It's been a 16-year-old who's been hacking Microsoft, NVIDIA. That's you? Is it you? I knew it was. Oh, God. Codex leaves. Next thing you know, you're hacking Microsoft. I knew it. That's what you do.
I'm 17 now, so if this person did this within the past month and was still 16, it was not me factually.
Yo, that dude's smart, man. I gotta give him props. Like, he's hacking all these different big companies.
Wait. That's the dude. I'm sorry. I was with family for most of the stream. That's the dude who like hacked NVIDIA, who hacked Microsoft, like who did all of. Oof.
Yo, dude, they did a whole Bloomberg report, and apparently they got like different traces of how they're following him. And there's more than just him. Apparently, there's a ring of these young kids. Like,
well, of course there is. No, there's no chance in hell that one person could do all of this. Wait, where's he located? Do we know?
No, you know what? They said he is located in the States, but the others they do not know the locations of. And to even go deeper, for all the hacks from Microsoft, NVIDIA, and everywhere else, they made sure to have at least one individual inside. So which means they had contacts with at least one Microsoft or one NVIDIA or one somebody to each one of these.
Imagine being at such a low point in your life that you give into a 16-year-old to allow him to hack into your company. Like you've got to be at a seriously sad point in your life to allow that to happen.
And you know what? I guarantee they probably picked the person. They're like, oh, this guy's going to be easy. Let's go ahead and approach him with a couple $1,000. And this goes, oh, okay, here.
He probably popped onto his Facebook and was like, oh, this man just had a divorce. So we'll go for him.
Yo, and I got to say, much props to those kids, though, man. They hacked it, and, who knows? NVIDIA's the one that has to worry. I don't think Microsoft has to worry too much. I don't think they got much for Microsoft, but NVIDIA, holy shit.
And that's the thing is that Microsoft recently has been a lot more open with the stuff they've done. I mean, they're not, they're no Linux, or they're no Canonical with open source, but they're definitely a lot less shitty about it. And like with Windows 11, when that got leaked early and people didn't even know Windows 11 was a thing, they did like light attempts to DMCA the download links, but they didn't, they came out and almost embraced like, okay, yeah, we got leaked, here we go. But NVIDIA is as closed source, we control what we have as you can get. So it's pretty scary for them.
It is. It is real scary. And that alone, you got teenagers.
Because now NVIDIA, right, they're thinking, okay, some douchebag hacked us. We're gonna catch the guy. We're gonna put him in jail for 30 years. And now there's a chance that this video might get tried as minors, and now their sentence is going to be significantly reduced. Because they didn't. It's going to be quite hard to, well, maybe not hard, but they're going to need to prove a significant amount of damages in order to even come close to getting the same sentence that they would be getting if tried as adults. And given that this isn't a violent crime, I don't think there's a chance they get tried as adults. So,
I'm with you. I don't think they get tried as adults either. I think this is their worst nightmare. I mean, literally.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, imagine getting hacked by a 5-year-old. That person might not get charged with anything.
Exactly. And bad enough, they might do it again.
Honestly, that's not even too too crazy to think about, because when I was 7, I was finding those really crappy like batch file viruses that it just puts up a text box saying you have a virus and doesn't do anything more. I was looking those up pretty young, so it's very possible that someone could somehow, this would be very, very weird, but someone looks up something like that and then they find like SQL injection code and then puts it into a random website, and it just happened that website is poorly secured, and then they say, oh my god, that's so cool, I'm going to tell all my friends this data I found. And then maybe that gets to a friend who gets to a friend who gets to an older brother who's smarter and then decides to post that. Well, the 5-year-old did the hacking, and so are you going to try to charge the 5-year-old? Maybe you'll charge the older brother for distributing it, but the 5-year-old was the one who did the hacking. Are you really going to try to charge him?
You know what? No, you can't actually charge the 5-year-old. 5 years old, we all know how we were at 5. That doesn't mean how we're going to be at 6 or 7. No, I agree.
Yeah.
You got a good point. Now, that's Wrestling. This Nintendo Switch mod chip installation drama has hit my inbox to no end. I have had one person send me every message, but I've had multiple people who, some even vouching for this person, some trashing this person. Okay. From what you know on mod chip installations, what is some advice that you can give to someone looking to get their system modded, or something you would do before sending your system off to someone?
Learn it yourself. Like, it just, I think install services are a great tool, but learning is an even better tool. But not only that, I think that I just have hard time trusting a random guy with a $350 piece of technology. They have no accountability to a certain extent, and I've purchased consoles from people, but it's like they're older consoles, and so okay, if it's defective or whatever, then okay, it is what it is. I'm out $100. Sucks to suck. But we're talking $350, theoretically even more for the install service and for the chip. So, we're talking possibly upwards of $500. That's not throwaway money. Neither is $100 in today's economy, but it's not as bad as the $500 you theoretically are talking about for a Switch OLED, a chip, the install service, shipping, all of that. And I just don't. Not everyone can learn soldering in a week, but if you just have the right tools, if you get one of those OLED mod chips that have the OLED specific flex cable, that zero adapter, all of that, it can be turned from a level 10 to a level 6.5 type of install that I could probably do if I gave myself 10 hours.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that, because you're right. The specimen learning is the number one tool. I remember my first mod chip that I had to solder on a PlayStation 2, which was an S box, and same thing. I didn't know how to solder. I had no knowledge of it. I didn't even start looking for installers at that point. I just looked up the tools that were needed. I went and bought them, and you're right. I started practicing at first. I had some blank PCB boards, and I had wire, and I was just kind of soldering different things. And I made rookie mistakes, okay? I didn't have any flux. Okay, so imagine soldering with no flux, okay? Like, I was doing it, okay? And I'm like, oh, I can do this, but I managed to do it. And throughout the years, I learned different things. So I agree with you on the learning. But you and I both know, especially in America, capitalism, beautiful thing. People who have money do not want to do it, and they want to spend money. And you're right. Usually you want to learn, but in this case, let's say you got a couple hundred to throw away. Okay. There are some of these Facebook groups which I think do a great job of having like a ring of installers. Okay. And they kind of, take turns and each install the system. And that way, if someone does something wrong, they can lean on another to fix the system. Do you think, as someone, if you had to send your system off, would that be the best way to go? Or would you be one to just say, hey, Statics, here I come. I know Statics is good. Micro gaming repairs, here I come,
I would just go local, because then there's accountability. Local soldering businesses exist as far as I'm aware. And I feel like most of these businesses probably would operate on a, we're just doing what you ask us to and we're not going to question it. If you give them a switch and you say, here's a device I want you to install, here is the cables that you need to install it, and here's a diagram on how to do it all, please do this work for me. I think unless it's some like national group or it's like some big national send-in group, if it's a local company, I don't think they're going to really question you. And at that point, if they fuck your system up, there's some accountability, and you can say to them, okay, hey, you guys, I would assume that if they would have some sort of contract that says like, hey, if we mess your system up, we promise not to, but if we do, we'll replace it. We'll replace it up to a certain value. And if they don't honor that, guess what? You know the person, you know where they work, you might even know where they live, and you can sue the shit out of them. You can't necessarily sue the shit out of someone who has some random P.O. box in suburban Detroit.
No, you, Dead Specimen, for being so young, you're well versed, young man. I must tell you that, because that was something I was proposed with not that long ago when I had my OG Nintendo Switch and the SD card connector stopped working. I thought, hey, I'll just go on Amazon. Those things are pop out, pop back in. I'll go buy me one. I bought one, and I'm gently pulling it out, and all of a sudden one of the little pins come out that's connected to the board. So I'm stuck, and I'm like, oh no SD
How do you even
card.
do
No,
that? I've taken that thing out like 20 times. How do you do that?
yes, I've never had a problem. This one, for some reason, I was as delicate as I can be. Still came off. Nonetheless, I'm like, okay, I get online, I buy the little connector that goes to the board, but I had no idea how to put this connector to the board. I went to someone local. I was able to show them the replacement part I bought and show them the guide. I brought it to them. I sat in my car for about 30 minutes, played some tunes, came back, and it was done. And now both SD card connectors, the old one still worked. Who would have known my damn Switch just somehow the connector just, I don't know, it's just crappy. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, you're right. I went local. Very easy. Didn't even take any. I just messaged the dude, sent it to him. He said, bring it on. I waited about 30 minutes to get it done. Why don't a lot of people know about this?
Because the Switch and really most homebrew scenes are sort of echo chambers of, you're meant to be given the tools and you have to use the tools. And the idea of having someone else do something is frowned upon in a certain way. And so I don't think I ever once saw Team Executor advertise an install service. They basically said, if you don't think you can do this, get someone to do it. But they never had any install services on their website. Reswitched never sort of said, hey, if you really want to do Marco, so look, they clearly had some level of support for the mod chips, given that they actually gave Marco support. If they really were so against the mod chips, they wouldn't have bothered supporting it in the first place. And so they never said, like, hey, here's some businesses that you can contact if you need an install of the HW flag. Maybe they didn't want to specifically support the SX core. None of them did that. It was always find a way to get one and then find a way to install it. And never, here's people who will do it. And there's a certain level of, okay, you can't just go out and be like, this person will do it because Nintendo's an asshole, but it's just frowned upon. I personally believe it's better to learn the skill But there are some people who, you know what, man, I just want to play some freaking homebrew. I don't want to spend months and months learning a skill to do this install. I might fuck up anyways, and then I'm out of, $500. I just can't risk it. I'm just going to have someone who knows what they're doing do it for me. And that's perfectly okay. If you're planning on doing this to a lot of consoles, maybe you want to learn the skill. But that's not something that I think should be required of someone. And there's a lot of people who believe that, and I think also that the thing is not all of us live in Chicago. Not all of us live in New York City, Atlanta, San Francisco, wherever. No one knows, where a local install service is in Scott County, Virginia, or, I don't know.
Yeah, you preaching right now. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I didn't think
know.
about it in that sense. Yeah, you're right. I'm
So-
closer to major cities. You're right, like Chicago. So I will find an installer. But you're right. I was out there traveling through Ohio. If you're out there in Sandusky, Ohio, who do you go to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So no, you got a point. Dead Specimen, you're dropping knowledge on us today. Now, Dead Specimen, I'm at the top. Okay, I'm supposed to be cutting the damn show off, but of course, I love talking to you guys so much. Dead Specimen, any last words you got to say for y'all?
More so of a question.
Talk to me.
Have any serious developments in the Switch scene even happened recently? I've been kind of turning a blind eye. Has anything interesting happened? Has there been any crazy breakthroughs on the Marcos? Any new chips? Any easier way to get chips? Any crazy new homebrew? Other than, I know there's some Vita stuff out. Have you talked about the Vita stuff for the Switch?
Yeah, I have. I actually have a video I did, but we can't play games yet. That's the kind of, but executables, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It kind of sucks. The Switch seems kind of dry right now. You know what scene that really needs to take off? You know what scene that should really start taking off? When are we getting the root for this? When? I want root for this, damn it.
You know what? Eventually, one day, you might be the reason we might get it. This video right here, let's pub it. When are we gonna get it? Damn it! They said, you know what? I'm gonna give that damn kid what he wants. Spam! Oh, but no, nothing big in the Switch scene, as far as I know, and I've done a lot of the videos. It's just the same software is being updated. Most of them updated to support 14.0, which is the latest stuff.
Can I make a hot take real quick?
Good. Hot take. Let's go.
Feels like homebrew as a whole is kind of dying.
So, Dead Specimen, do you think that these gaming companies, being that they're going to release all their old titles, I mean, Nintendo games soon are going to, all NES games will be on Nintendo Switch Online. All Super Nintendo games will be on Nintendo Switch Online. What if all these other gaming companies offer all the games where we no longer have to do emulation, where we can just pay for the services? Do you think that would kill most of homebrew?
It would kill a third of it. I think I've said this before. There's 3 reasons to hack a console: piracy, homebrew, emulation. If you kill emulation, you still have homebrew and piracy as reasons a group might want to hack a console. And so it would maybe slow it down. It might reduce what's available, but I don't think it would kill it. If you pulled an Xbox and made it impossible to pirate on the console, and that, then you would would basically end up killing it, because then people would just be wanting homebrew, and there probably just would not be enough people motivated at that point. You've already got ways to have your old games, and it's just not possible to pirate. So at that point, people will probably just go, fuck, I'm just going to buy a laptop and just do my menial task instead of on my console. I'm just going to buy a cheap laptop.
No, I'm with you there. And me, myself, I remember back when I used to get my phone, I used to root it, and it was a big thing to root your phone and set up everything the way you want it. I mean, now I get my phone, I can damn near do everything I need to do. There's no reason to root my phone anymore.
The only reason I would ever root my phone would be if I just was like going off the grid and all I needed was a phone that could call, text, and use the internet reliably. I root my phone and then put on, Lineage OS, don't install the Google apps, and it's just pure Android and none of the Google stuff. And it's just an operating system that makes the phone calls I need, the texts I need, and, I don't know, I can change my wallpaper and browse the internet and then securely wipe everything from the browser or whatever.
No,
That would be the only reason nowadays I could see anyone rooting their phone.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Rooting the phone is a thing of the past.
Although jailbreaking an iPhone, I think there's still good reason to do that.
Oh, jailbreaking an iPhone. I think myself,
I don't think it's still alive and well. I think jailbreaking iPhones is still alive and well.
Yeah, I think it's still, and that community is probably still thriving. So,
and, I want to real quick. Last thing I'll say, I want to poll chat real quick. What are you guys most excited for to see get hacked in one way or another? I'm thinking 4 main things: Quest, PS5, Xbox Series X, and oh my god, what was the other thing I had in mind? I'm already forgetting it.
Stuffy right there already.
Basically, I guess I'll say this: would you rather have the Quest 2 get modded, the PS5/Xbox Series X, or a solderless method for the Switch OLED? There we go. We'll see what people have to say about that.
Damn, why did you do that to me, man? That's a toughie. And be honest, this might sound weird. I would have to go with the Quest. Just for the simple fact of that's out of the realm. You know what I mean? Yeah. I kind of feel like I could get my fix with everything else.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. You mod the PS5, what's it gonna look like? Probably look very similar to the PS4 scene. The Series X, well, you can already get RetroArch on there. There's no reason for emulation. Piracy is impossible on that thing. I mean, unless you want to completely bork your system, and only use it for pirated games only. It also risks maybe getting a Microsoft account banned. And homebrew, I mean, it's a fucking Windows system. Just get a Windows computer at that point. There's nothing really interesting you can run on it. It's a mid to high tier gaming PC. So the Series X just wouldn't be interesting. And I mean, okay, having an easier way to mod the Switch OLED, okay, sure, you might not have to hunt down an old Switch or hunt down a install service, but you're not going to get new software. The Quest, that's a whole you can make whole new operating systems for it, new VR operating systems. That would be badass.
Yeah, that's why I have to say the Quest is like, it's automatic. That's like an automatic. It's like, why?
And you can get all the Facebook shit. There's a reason. Get rid of all the Facebook shit. Have it function essentially the same, just no Facebook. There.
Oh, just kill all the Facebook bloatware. Oh, my man, Death Specimen. Brother, as always, I'm hollering at you later, Mo fan.
Take care, man.
Later, man. Now, my man, I don't know where he went.
Oh, there I am. What's up?
I'm still at work.
I'm still at work. You kidding me? I'm going to turn off the Bluetooth so we're not getting interference again. Hold on. Give me a second.
Oh, you good, man. You take your time, man. Yeah,
okay, can you hear me?
I will say. I can hear you fine. Man.
All right, cool. I'm going to sit down for a second. What? Yeah, going back to the homebrew thing with the with that member, it's not his fault because it has to deal with the mod chips. The mystery person that we're talking about here, I know who it is, you know who it is.
Yep.
He told me he got a bad batch of mod chips, and another person told me he got another bad batch of mod chips. That's the problem. You got to be careful. It's not the installer's fault. It's the manufacturer. Stuff happens. Just don't go ahead assuming stuff. The mystery person that has always backed up stuff saying, hey, if it's broken, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to get it fixed. He's always going to have it his way. And it's just, people need to realize that sometimes doing these chips installations are very difficult to
do. So let me ask you this, Joe. For you, this person. Do you think this person, if the mod chips are the problem, you think this person deserves another chance? Am I right?
Oh, yes. A lot of people don't feel that way, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't feel that way. For some reason, I'm not sure this person has had other dealings. But what can you tell a consumer that had sent their product out to somebody, but the mod chip fails. Do you think the consumer would understand that the mod chip is failing, or do you think, regardless mod chip fail or not, it is the installer's responsibility to verify all that's working?
In my personal opinion, I think it was a bad batch of mod chips because what happened was the seller for the servicing sent it to the customer. Customer used it for a couple of days, and then the light on the back of the switch wasn't working anymore. So it seems like a bad chip. Then I was telling this person, even though I don't install chips, I know how they work with the reading and writing. I had that person that installed this person's mod chip. The customer messaged me and says, look, I can't get the system to work that this person did. What should I do? I told him copy and paste and override all the files again, download fresh files, let the switch sit for 10 minutes, and it fixed itself. It has a bad read and write error. I don't know what causes this. I don't install the chips, but it has to do with a latency issue where sometimes where it's not connecting, maybe the joints are weak, or maybe it's just a bad chip. It's really hard to tell. But this is no cakewalk for anybody to do. Even some people say, oh, it's easy to install the chips. Yeah, but, shit happens. You get a bad batch of chips, and maybe the chip has a short in it. You go to install it, it works fine. Then you turn it off. You lose voltage. You turn it back on again. Too much voltage goes in there. Boom, the chip shorts itself out. In my opinion, I still think the original SXOS chips were the best chips. Best bet, if you want to get in the scenes, you're brand new to the switch. You can use the Linux, you can use different boot methods, and do that. I'm telling you. But these chips have nothing but problems. That's how it is with all mod chip systems. Mostly with the Switch, though, because it just seems like there's a bad run of chips.
No, it does seem like a bad run of chips. It's the same thing I heard. Joe, if you've worked with somebody today, and let's say they come to you and said, you guys are in business, but they come to you and say, hey, Joe, I have this customer's item. I made a mistake. Can you fix it for me? And on the second side of that, do you think that person in return should tell the customer that they're giving it to you to fix?
Well, it should be like if you had, let's say, installer one install the chip, and they messed up, and they bring it to a different installer like myself, for an example, and say, hey, installer one messed it up, can you fix it? I'll be like, it all depends. Sometimes people do bad jobs of installing stuff. The other person that we're talking about, he does a good job of installing stuff. I've seen his work. It's all clean. It's all nice and organized. I've seen other pictures of other people trying to install chips where they mess up the whole board. There's solder all over the place. There's flux all over the place. So it looks like, a hot coffee spilled everywhere. Just a big fucking mess. Sometimes you can't fix that because it's just all over. You took the solder and you joined all the different connectors together. Too much voltage went to everything and blew up. It's very hard to say. I've seen this person fix other people's broken systems before. It just seems like it's just a massive attack. And it sucks because I'm in the middle sometimes when this shit happens.
Now, Joe, they say you got a little feedback from the mic. I don't know, how that goes. I don't hear it too much on my end, but I guess they hear it.
Okay. I'm in an empty room. That's probably what it is.
Okay. So, Joe, last thing, because you said it very well about that person. And I get pulled in the middle a lot of times. Up to you, Joe. You have to hire. You are the one hiring these installers. You said, yo, I got a great batch of guys who I know do great work. Do you hire that guy, this individual, as an installer, or do you pass?
I'll take him.
Nice. Okay. I'm thinking, you know what? I could craft them up.
Yeah,
So what would be some things you would do, Joe? What would be some things you would do for future time to make sure it doesn't happen?
Yeah, everybody needs to work together. This is how, in the private chat rooms where the moderators, the admins are, I'm not going to mention the group, but we're all there. We'll talk about certain problems. For instance, one of the atmosphere updates back in the day, it fucked up everything. Me and Eric had to take care of the software problem and fixed it. We got it fixed. It took us 2 weeks to fix the problem. because the Hecate IPL was all fucked up, and we had another member, I forget his name, he helped us too. So it took 3 people to fix one fucking problem. That's what it is. You know, it's not everyone's a master at a certain thing. I had people message me, hey, can you install an RCM loader into the switch, you know, the trinket? I said, no, I can't. I don't know how to solder. Oh, it's not that hard, though. Well, it's not that hard. Then you do it because I'm unable to do it. I have no soldering skills. I need to learn how to do it. And you need to take baby steps. Go on eBay and buy, you know, little trinket stuff, little soldering test boards. You know, put LED lights on these boards. They're really cheap. Start out small, then get bigger. I was talking to one of my good friends that he does the OLEDs and the other switches. I was telling him I'm watching a video right now just for fun, installing a mod chip for the PS2 that uses 40 wires. And he told me he did 4 of those.
40. And you know what? I want to say I do remember that because I remember seeing that with 40 wires, but oh no, that scares the hell out of me. Okay.
The Switch.
Yeah, on the Switch, if you had that many wires, it would be impossible. It would just be a done deal. I would just say no one has the system on it, except, you know, maybe the few who know how to solve it.
But my suggestion is to the person that we're talking about, get your own thing going. You know, Nick started out small with his channel, and now it's growing. We're over 3,000 subscribers, and the Facebook's growing. You just got to take the negatives as whatever. You know, sometimes at the restaurant here, customers say, oh, the food came out like crap, or, oh, it's really good. Sometimes the negatives help better than the positives, then you could really fine-tune your skills. For instance, yesterday for me was a shit show. Everybody came in at once. The orders came out late. Shit got messed up. Got a little aggravated about it, but you just have to know your limits and just keep trying your hardest. Just keep going with it. You know, eventually shit clicks. You just got to keep practicing. That's it.
That was well said. I can't say it better myself. Yo, any last words, my brother, before you out? Yo, did we just like drop Joe? Is the stream still going? Did I kill the stream? Yo, Joe, did I break everything? Can we look? Are we still? Did I break the damn show or something? Can somebody come in? Damn, I said, Joe, we out. And it said, boom, and just everything cut off. Okay, I think I'm still on. I'm still rolling. Okay. So I'm just going to say this, okay, while we're still rolling. I don't know what happened to Joe. Joe, you my dog. Regardless, Joe. Drank the whole damn bottle of wine, Joe, and I got another bottle back there. Thank you for that. I'm definitely going to be drinking the wine. I'm going to say a few things before we're out. My man, Joe, he has been in this scene for a while. He is also another individual that probably caught up in the middle. A lot of times you get individuals with big hearts, man. Myself, I got a big heart. I'm cold-blooded too. So it's very weird. I'm cold-blooded the way I tell you, man. I keep it real with you. Like, yo, they don't like the shit that you're doing. They said this, they said that, they said blah, blah, blah. That's what it is, okay? And I feel like, hey, if they said this and this was happening, this is that. But the person will come back and say, hey, man, this is not the case. This is what's going on. These people are doing this and so and so. So I can relate. But one thing I can say is a constant in this is the individual. So I'm going to say this to the individual before we out. The people who are on here today were speaking up on this, and I didn't mention your name. Okay? Which means that it's not many people this is happening with. There's actually 2 different installers I've heard something about. I only mentioned one. It's only right because that's the one that everybody seems to know. That's the one that's been front facing. That's the one that's been also messaging people, calling people, and speaking with other people. I hope the things work out for him. Okay, I hope everything works out for him. The dude speaks to me often. Okay, he works. He tries to work. He tries to do the best he can do. But, you know, everybody's life is fucked up, man. We all got crazy lives. Some people might be dealing with this. Some people might be dealing with mental issues, physical problems. Wife left you. Kids hate you. Job fired you. You know, we got all types of problems that happens. But one thing Joe said, I want to go ahead and reiterate for all of you, and you need to listen close. He said sometimes the negatives or those bad things help you way more than the positive things. And I couldn't agree with that better, Joe. Sometimes those things that are negative that hurt you are teachable moments to make you a better individual or to make your business better or whatever endeavor you may go on. Look at those negative moments as learning lessons instead of, a bunch of negative moments are happening to me at one time. No, trust me. Some of it can be of your own doing, but if you look at it as a learning lesson, you will then learn from it and you won't make the same mistake. Other than that, y'all, we done. Yo, I had so much to talk about. I got like 9 subjects and we didn't get through none of the shit as we always do. So we'll be back. We'll get through the other subjects. I still got them here. Other than that, y'all, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Again, March 27th, lovely show. MoFam, if you want me to come out and holler at you, just message me, man. I'll be all over. I'll be traveling. Just message me on the Facebook. I'll be out there. You can have MoFam stop by you, take a couple pictures, holler, whatnot. Joshua Drake, I seen Louisiana. Okay, I got Louisiana down on the map. Sage, you up there in the East Coast. I think you up in, I keep forgetting. I think you Brooklyn. I think you up in Brooklyn. Okay, I'll go up to Brooklyn. I've been up there. I stayed in Bergen County, East Jersey. Okay, well, North Jersey, actually. It's about 5 minutes from George Washington Bridge, so I'm familiar with New York. Okay, I'll be all over. I'll be down south, too. But other than that, it's your boy, Nickmoses05. MoFam, love you guys. We are growing. You see the channel. Let's keep it going.